My environment is a movement. It's something that's coming from the concrete, when there's soil underneath the concrete, but this is a rose that grows underneath all the unnecessary stuff that's going on. So we're trying to strengthen our environment. We're trying to make where we come from, how we live, the decisions that we made in the past, we're trying to make them better. We're actually trying to rectify them and make sure that the things that people think about us is not our past, but what we're doing right now.
All right, Empowering My Environment's about bringing opportunity to the community, to build it up. You've also had some service projects in the community, but also in every community, and your community specifically, there have been people that have just been pillars, and they're worthy of honor.
Right.
And so now you're going to bring some honor to those folks. Who are you going to start with?
One of our local heroes, Mr. Ed Johnson, the head football director and coach of Sunset Tigers. Been around forever, man, put his work in. All the youth, majority of the youth from our community has been up under one of Mr. Ed programs. We just wanted to show him honor, we wanted to show him love, and we just wanted to say thank you from the community for taking your time out and investing it into the community. And we just wanted to tell Mr. Ed, thank you. So.
I'm Mac. This is Charlie Rock. Charlie. And we have a very, very special guest today. This series or this episode is about honoring those in our community and the community outreach that a lot of people in our neighborhoods have been doing for a very long time. And we would like to introduce everyone to a great mentor of ours, Coach Ed Johnson of the Sunset Tigers.
Thank you. Glad to be here. I'm honored to be here.
Coach Ed has been a legend in our community for a long time, for we would say 49 years and plus. He's built an organization, the Sunset Tigers, a Pee Wee League that's been going on since 19...
Well, the league been going on ever since probably in the late 70s, because it was an organization for underprivileged black kids in the community set up by the EOA.
Mm-hmm.
But I only got into it in 1971 when I came home. It was going on before I got home, so we pretty much enlightened that league and made that league grow.
Where'd you come home from, Coach Ed?
Vietnam.
Vietnam War.
United States Army, 6 years. No, I didn't start the league. The league was the EOA started the league.
You started
That made
Sunset.
me start Sunset Tigers.
Okay.
I didn't even start Sunset Tigers, to tell you the truth. Miss Velma Gray was the one who started it, and she wanted me to coach it. Then I didn't want to coach it, and she bought some outfits for like 17 kids, and she wanted to have a football team in the neighborhood. I was having a hard time adapting back to life. Numb took a whole lot out of you. You don't know how to love. You don't know how to have feelings toward people and stuff. And today I'm the same way. But God saw another avenue for me. And he said, hey, I got this for you. Try it. You know, you don't know somebody, when people speaking to you, you don't know who's speaking to you, but, you know, sometimes you say, something told me something. Well, it wasn't no something. God talking to you. You know, they say, my sheep know my voice when you talking to them. Well, I think you've heard that in the Bible for all your life. And then God said, hey, try this. Let's see it work. Don't say no. When Ms. Gray kept coming back to me in the third time, she said, Mr. Johnson, would you just help me put these kids together then? If you don't want to coach, would you help me put the team together? That was her trick to get me to coach. And you know, if I'm going to put the kids together, then I don't want nobody else messing over them, so that's how I got into it. I know there's a lot of guys that came in contact with me. And I know there's a lot of things other people can't do in the neighborhood that's against Coach Ed, because I've been told this. Because they wore orange, they played for the Tigers, and they'll say, Coach Ed, you ain't never got to worry about this, worry about that. My ex-kids and ex-players have always come through for me on that program down there. And the commitment of that program is seeing them young men grow up to be men. I care less whether you play football when you leave me or not. I really don't. But I want you to learn how to wear deodorant, how to wear your clothes, how to grow up and be a young man where you can represent yourself with your family and in the neighborhood. And you know, whether you be that star on the football field, that comes with God's grace in you.
But that's what he means when he says saving lives. Your character and how you talk on your football team and how you showed us your example in the neighborhood. I didn't never play for your team, and I didn't know you, but only because I was coming over to Charlie Rock and Medea House, and I would see you and just talk and listen to the conversation. And I love just what you represented, man. Because you don't see black men in our neighborhood stand out like that on a regular basis, year after year after year. You consistent, and that's why we love you.
With EME, what we're trying to do, man, we're trying to bring hope back to our neighborhood. And we're trying to drive out, we were once part of the balance. You witnessed that. You witnessed the bad side and the good side.
That commitment of being there, visible, talk to them, come down someday, and you got the stage. More people, you know, you can reach people by talking to them than walking around looking like a millionaire. Yeah, that phase some folks is what you got on or what you walking with or what you doing. But if you interact with people, if you there letting them know how you feel and what your experience was and you talking to them, it goes a long way with a kid. But now you want to walk up with a kid and you got a $300 coat on and $300 shoes on. That just, all that doing is influencing his mind to the point where, how can I get some of them?
Yep, no matter what.
Right.
No matter what. See, you ain't really helping his mind no more than, man, I like them shoes over there. But next thing you know, he want to grow up and go and take some off somebody else. But if you show him a way how he can handle his life, channel that energy, and be able to just communicate with other folks. Communication goes a long way. I mean, we came up during the gang days where none of that ever got down to Sunset. Nobody could never tell me. I mean, even the mayor told me, say, he don't know how it didn't affect down that park down there.
It never did.
Every park in town had graffiti on it. Every park in town had gang base. It never reached Sunset.
Because of you.
That's what they say.
It is. It is. It all comes back
and you know
to
what?
you.
Right.
And I respect that. I would say, thank you, God, because we never had a problem down there.
Okay.
We never had guys coming into the park shooting or fighting or anything. Our game, we had games down there. We never had to have the police down there to pull anybody off the field out the park.
Never.
But now you go across town, at any park in town, always before the game was over, they had people getting arrested. They either drinking or fighting in the middle of the field. We even played at some games at night where we had to leave because some dude either cut the light off or they get to fighting in the middle of the field.
Right.
You hit my boy, I'm killing you. You hit my boy, this and that. I look at that, I said, we come from the poorest side of town.
Right.
But it seems like our folks are more civilized than across town.
Right.
And it has to do with a lot of the people there. Of course, I'm gonna come back to you. It's you and other elements of our community that put that in place where we saw that we knew how to act, even though we were out here doing things that we know we're supposed to, but we knew how to act when the eyes were on us.
Now, I've never seen any of my players do anything outside of my park. You know, I know what they're doing. I know John Doe might be up there selling weed or got a gun on or doing gang activity. But, you know, my players see me coming down the street, they would never let me see doing anything.
Hey, that one thing I just want to say, because we was once those gang members he talking about. But when Coach come by, man, we were straighten up.
I noticed that.
We're straighten up.
I
with
really
everybody.
noticed that.
We made sure all the kids had a safe way up and down the
street.
to the park, and all that they would never mess with. It was just it was an unwritten rule in our neighborhood.
Don't mess with the Sunset.
And do not mess up that park because we honored you.
I mean, remember this. Now, when you came home, I said, man, you ain't got nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes in life.
Yeah.
Just realize in life is you can't change what happened. You can change what's going to happen in the future. See, what happened has already happened. You can change your whole life by going straight now. There's no way you can correct that what happened behind you. Now, if you want to walk through your life saying, man, I did this and I did that, then that's your problem. But I will tell you in a minute, don't never look back.
Not Coach. I ain't trying to put you on blast, right?
Yes, he is.
But watch this. Could you give us who was some of your favorite teams? Because you didn't have a lot of teams. How many teams you think you had over the years?
I mean, he really is in 19, what, 49 and a half years, 49 teams.
Yep.
So,
Give me a list of your top 5 teams, from 5 down to number 1.
top 5 teams.
Top
Yeah,
5.
You gotta
Number
tell
one,
about a year.
1977.
77.
77.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
That's my
That's
favorite,
understandable.
my favorite team
That's
that had Keaton all them on it.
Who I was on there? You remember the name?
You had Keaton on there, you had Leslie on there, you had Todd on there, you had Ricky Williams on there, Anthony Chambers on there, Terry Stokes.
Legend.
You ask me the position, I'll tell you who played it.
NFL players on this.
All them guys went big like that.
Even that wow.
That's the South.
We had a mean 77.
Ah, Little Rock, Arkansas, huh?
I'm telling you, all of them was on that team.
Wow.
And it wasn't like, and you know what, all them guys now went 3 years
Right.
without losing a game. They went 45-0 in them 3 years.
What about Turtle and their team? Cause he swear he
What year was
knew
that?
no
What year
guys.
is Turtles team on
Turtles
your top
in like
5?
90, 91, 90, in the early
Is that on
90s,
your top
They were
5?
good. Now they ain't in my top 5.
Yeah.
That don't mean, wait a minute.
No, we gotta mess with Turk.
Wait a minute.
We gotta get him.
That don't mean that they weren't good because
He just said he all want his
the
favorite team.
1985 team was the second best.
Okay,
And
1985.
Walter McIntosh was the quarterback of that team.
85.
Walter McIntosh.
Yeah, take it up the hill.
Yeah, then you had
Walt,
you had people like Mark Bridges and C.T. Neal in
Yeah,
the
Mark
backfield.
Bridges, I know Mark
Man,
Bridges.
all them guys was good, boy.
So we got 77 and we got 85.
Number 3.
1972.
Okay.
That's the third. That's the very first one.
Okay. That's the very first
That's
team.
the very first team.
All right.
See, we started the team in 71, but we didn't get off into the EOA until the 72 season.
Okay.
We played in the neighborhood. We played like from Thrasher down there in 71. That's all we ever did was the neighborhood. When Mr. Gray wanted us to get in the league. Won 72, that's when we first got in the league and won a championship.
Okay.
Wayne Fuller, the one who owned Chicken Wayne out there,
Yeah.
that was my first quarterback. He was one heck of a quarterback and the leader. You look at him, and man, I mean, he was coach on the field.
Right.
I look at him every year. He makes an appearance at the first game every year. And he owned Chicken Wayne, him and Wayne Bergson, them guys was good. All right, you had on that team John Simmons. John played with Cincinnati Bengals.
Right.
John played offensive tackle for me. John didn't get in the backfield till he got over Southwest. And he got in, and came when he found out he could run. Well, he was a running back when he was down at Thrasher, but when they all left Thrasher, him, see who else left Thrasher? Came down a year. Him and Daryl Mason and all of them. You know, Daryl Mason played with Oakland. All them guys came down there with us to play with Sunset that first year.
Right.
So you're looking at that and you said now.
He went to the NBA.
Now, you're looking at the 1972 team. Now, number 14, I mean, I could say this. Number 14 was like the 2012 team.
2012.
That team went 18-0. They didn't lose a game. That cause they went undefeated don't necessarily mean they were going to be the best team. The best team was one like, I used to wake up on Saturday mornings and the 1977 team be running through the street. Everywhere we go, people want to know. I'm sleeping now. I'm telling you, we ain't got to play till 11 o'clock. But here, 9 o'clock, they run up and down my street singing.
Right.
We used to sing it.
Keith, Rick, and it, y'all learned it.
They started it.
17 now, they're the ones
They
that
started
What
it.
started
They
it?
started
I was
it.
going to ask you that. Who was the first one started the
I
slogan?
really did it because you know, in the military, when you're running and you're singing,
Yeah.
you sing in the military.
Right.
Where I transported that over to my team.
Right.
But they were the first team that did it on their own.
Tigers.
They run up and down the street.
Superstar.
Right.
Hey.
All right, when I went in the Hall of Fame, I'm walking on the stage in the dark. I'm listening to this. The song came out in the dark. You know, in Watkins Auditorium, you can't see people out there.
Right.
So it's my time to speak, going to the Black Hall of Fame. I'm looking out there, and everywhere we go, people want to know. It started getting going. We are the Tigers,
Right. Yes.
mighty Tigers.
Yeah.
I'm looking out there, I'm trying. I can't see nobody.
Can't see nobody.
So they shocked me.
Yeah.
The dude kicked the lights on for about a good 1 minute. Man, he said, that whole back up there, your Sunset Tigers. He said like 387 kids up there, like people that played for you was on their balcony up there. I looked at all them people up there, I said, really? He said, man, they bought all them tickets up there to be up in that balcony for you. That's who it is. I got up and got to talking, and I said, man, I could. It almost made me cry. All right, that's 2012. Now,
The last one, final top 5
the
team.
last one,
Yep.
I'm really gonna say there's a pop up between, I'm gonna say, the 2005 team.
The 05.
Yeah.
So we got a tie on number 5.
05 and
Huh?
12.
We got a tie on number 5.
Why you got tied?
Because you said it's two teams. You said it's two teams.
Well, I can say the last two. I'm saying the last two teams, but I would say that not really a tie. But I got to go with the 05 team. The 05 team was one defensive team that they didn't believe in letting people score on them, and they went 16-0. They're the first team that went down to Texas, played in a championship bowl, and they had to play a double elimination that day. They had 4 top teams, 2 of them from Texas, 1 from us, and the other from Memphis. And we ended up pulling the I guess what you call a bad luck draw. We ended up pulling the number 1 and the number 2 team.
You had to play number 1 and number 2?
They had us at number 3. Now, that was disrespect to
Yeah.
us. You know, we from Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, the Arkansas team, they can't beat none of these teams down here.
Right.
We got them, we kicked the dog out of the number 1 team right up front.
Right up top.
I said, man, we kicked the butt out of the number 1 team.
Yeah.
Now, the number 2 team just beat the number 4 team. Now we got to come back 2 hours later and play the number 2 team.
Right.
Kick their butt too.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I could not believe y'all could play 2 games in one day. I ain't never like had my team play no 2 games in one day.
Injuries like that.
But that day we had to do this. All right, now, if you want to jump down time again, now you want to look at the 1983 team. The 83 team, that team there, I'm going to say Michael Woolfolk probably was the one that kept that team together more than anybody else. Because Woolfolk he wasn't a great quarterback, but he was a leader-type quarterback, him and Cedric Peoples. They were leader-type players. And Woolfolk was that quarterback, he'll eat you up alive on short passes. But now you ask him to throw a pass long than 20 yards, and you forget about that. It's throwing to the other team.
I ski.
INT.
But every one of my teams is built around a quarterback.
Right.
You know, on offense. I'm an offensive person anyway. I think any dummy can coach defense. I mean, you can take 3 kids and put them on the field out there. You put on both sides, 1 in the middle. You can pretty much whoop another team if they ain't got what they're supposed to have. That's defense. Offense, it pretty much take 10 guys for that 1 guy to make 3 yards.
Right.
And if you don't get that offense together every day, we practice offense. Well, I'm not retiring from football. I'm retiring from coaching. I'm gonna change seats and run the program. I mean, I'm 72 years old now. I'm pretty sure I'm never gonna get the stamina back that I had before the cancer surgery. So what I want to do is see this program go to the good Lord, say, hey, come home.
Now let me ask you this, Coach. What will you miss most about coaching?
Camaraderie with the kids. And I still plan on trying to make my position, if I change and go from coaching to CEO or whatever else, my son called it CEO. I call it the president of the organization.
Right.
I still think I'm going to always be there to be able to talk to my kids for 30, 45 minutes a day. It just won't be that long no more because the coaches got their own ideas on how they want to coach. So I'm always going to be there from, you see a little boy needs shoes, a little boy needs socks, or you see his pants dirty, you take them home. You try to get that into the coach's head too. Kids should never get on the field dirty. Kids should never have to walk up shame of how he look.
How many ships you got? How many championships you got?
27.
And I got 3 of them. Talking about.
How many games you think you'd have lost out of you? Now, this is an amazing number, man. This shows the expertise of your coaching. How many games have you lost?
In 49 years, I pretty much can say about 34, 35 games.
Come on, man. This unheard.
I don't know nothing
We
about
might
the loss.
lose. The 1970-75 team, no, they 74 team lost more games than any team ever had. They lost 3.
What?
They lost
That's
3
the most
games
you ever lost?
in 1 year, in a single year.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They played for
After
third
that,
place.
It was no more.
Huh?
After that, it was
Well,
no
no,
more.
there was no more. But down the line, we might have lost 1 or tied 1, stuff like that. But that's the one that I can remember the most was the team that ever lost that many games in 1 year.
Never.
And that wasn't a great team because you had Wayne Burton, Aaron Fuller, all them, Kobe Sturridge, and all them, Freddie Ratliff, all them.
Oh, Freddie.
Freddie holds the record for the most yards in a single game.
He always say that.
Yeah.
Freddie
Don't
called.
say
We
that.
played a team called Force 10. We We played a team called Force 10. Force 10 was the weakest team in the city. On that particular Saturday, Freddie was on. Freddie ran Freddie ran 4 times. Well, I want to explain this. This is the formal letter to AJ. And that this letter's letting him know that he'll be going on the hero wall, Hall of Fame wall. That wall, they don't say you got to be the greatest player. That wall don't say you got to have records. That wall don't say you were the best player. That wall say you was a part of the Orange Crush. And what you do, you pick out players every year that had a successful career with us. The successful career means you finish with us, you finish your eligibility. You know, you get kids that I tell every kid, once you hit 13 years old, stay with me until you get that age. Then go on and play 7th grade or 8th grade ball. Well, when they stay with me like that, them the kids that's eligible. The ones that use their eligibility up, then they went on and played school ball. Now, if you left before then, you pretty much, you might get on there, but you're not eligible. And I use that as my Hall of Fame. We got 205 guys named on that board. 5 more going, that'll be 210. That's what, it's the official letter.
We're gonna get it up.
I've been carrying this around now for a month. No, it ain't been a month, but the last time I was down there, when y'all was down there, it's been a month.
Yeah,
It's been a month.
Now, we're finna get ready to wrap up stuff, Coach. Do you have any, first of all, thank you for your service in our community. Thank you for your positivity. We wanted to honor you and give you your roses while you're here, man. You're a legend. We love you. You got any instructions, anything, any advice for us?
My advice to you, like I said, don't price yourself out the market from the Ed Johnson line of clothes that you want to try to push or going into business. Most guys make the mistake going into business, price themselves out the market. Because when you try to go too high, you lose. You come low, then people, let's say when you're selling within that price range, you can sell a lot cheaper.
Right.
That's why Sunset Tigers only cost $11 for a kid to play on our football team.
That's what's
Everybody in town is jealous we got 100, 125 kids out there. That cause them kids, they ain't got to pay all that big old money.
Right.
You setting up a business on clothing line and stuff like that, make it affordable.
Now, let me ask you
Make it affordable.
let me ask you for your advice on, because EME's out, we empowering our environment. That's what we on. We're gonna empower that thing. We're gonna get it right over there
Include
on the south
kids in the
side.
community.
The kids of the community. That's what we're looking at.
The community looking for people that want to be role models. They're looking for people that want to help in their neighborhood. And when you got a little boy that he want to wear what you putting out, that little boy will buy it in a minute.
Yeah, one of my heroes, my neighbor. I don't know about you. So, man, we love you, man. We want to thank you for coming through and supporting EME, producing hope and restoring hope. We want to thank you, man, for giving us your time
Well,
and half your damn life.